Biel. It's admittedly not one of Switzerland's best-known cities, but it is one of its best-kept secrets. It's a lovely spot nestled between the Lake of Biel and the gorgeous vineyards at the foot of the Jura mountains. It's the part of Switzerland where French and German meet, but you can certainly get by fine with English at a pinch. The Cité du Temps. That's what they call an incredible new building created by the Japanese architect Shigeru Ban. He's also a Pritzker Prize winner, the most prestigious award in modern architecture. The word building doesn't really do justice, does it?
What it is really, it's a temple of time. That's because in here we have not one, but 2 museums dedicated to watchmaking brands known from Seattle to Sydney, going east.
So here's the first one. Let me give you a clue. James Bond, the Olympic Games, coaxial escapement. Well, that last one may not be much of a clue, but if you haven't guessed already, the answer is Omega. And we're here with the man behind this iconic brand, Reinhold Eschnemann. We're standing here in front of some of the utensils that I imagine are the first utensils that were used to make the first Omega.
125 years ago, exactly this year, the Omega brand started here in Vienne, just exactly where we're standing, because Mr. Braun created this incredible movement, named it because it was the best of the time, Omega, and then the whole story started.
It was the first watch that was in the moon, and then it became the official brand of the Olympics.
We've been there since 1932. Los Angeles, the first ever watch brand who was given the timekeeping, and now we're continuing until 2032, which will be 100 years of Olympic timekeeping at the service of the athletes. You talked about the moon. Speedmaster 1957, still today one of the most iconic chronograph that you can still get into any of the Omega retailers, and obviously wrote history of humankind.
Is there any word that you would use to describe Omega if you had to choose just one word?
The best word would be for me, customer satisfaction. We are dedicated to them and they're giving us back. If you look at the success we had the last 20 years.
Thank you so much for this really invigorating visit.
Be our guest anytime in this museum, and thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, Mr. Eschnemann.
Bye-bye.
That was interesting and fun. Speaking of which, fun is what the next brand cleverly coded its style with. Follow me, I can't wait to show it to you.
Swatch. If I had to pick one word to describe this brand, it would be extravagance. And I mean, we're talking about variety here. We have all the way from a red pepper version of a clock to, what's this called again?
It's a bunny's Kama Sutra version of a watch. Yes, it's about a positive provocation. We call it this way. It's one of the defining elements of the personality of Swatch. Since the very beginning, we love to send out messages which wake up people.
Is it true, or is it an exaggeration to say that Swatch basically saved the Swiss watchmaking industry during the quartz crisis in the 70s?
It's a reality, you know, the intuition and the vision that Mr. Hayek, the founder of Swatch, had at the time was that it wasn't enough to take care of the existing brands. So the innovation is the second element, which is an absolute pillar of our brand. And what you see here in Planet Swatch is actually that story. So you really go through that in terms of a timeline. As Swatch could do it, also the more traditional brands started to apply certain rules, you know, to the way they design, to the way they communicate, which make the entire watch industry much healthier.
Well, thank you so much, Carlo. I can't wait for you to show me the rest of it.
Let's go it.
Okay, thanks.
Let me show you now something surprising. This is Swatch by You. It's a program that allows you to customize your watch. You are in an environment where you can choose from many different designs and you can customize your watch exactly the way you want it. And then you have something which belongs only to you and no one else in the world will ever have similar.
This is great. So you were telling me that there's a bunch of people coming here during this month.
Yeah, the month of October has been a record month for this building, for Planet Swatch and for the Omega Museum. We have had more than 7,000 people coming. Of course, because the experience is not only the museum, but you can also order your watch from here and pick it up across the street in a very unique point of sale, actually the only one in the world where you can buy a watch in a drive-thru.
Well, that's amazing. I think I'm certainly going to buy one today.
I think you should.
Standing in front of La Cité du Temps, it's hard to believe that we're in the middle of the world's love affair with watches. And if you happen to be in the area, try discovering the rest of Biel, which is home to a lot more than fabulous watches.